Coming up next on this edition of In the City, the Greenway Arts Festival continues to be a popular stop for art lovers of all kinds. Also, the 4th annual Stones River Waterfest took place at Old Fort Park. Plus, Cason Academy celebrates 25 years of excellence in education. And October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We talk women's health with the VA Women's Program Manager. We'll tell you all about those stories and more coming up right now on this edition of In the City. Welcome to another edition of In the City, your source for what's happening right here in the city of Murfreesboro. I'm Michael Linn White. Local artists, musicians, and more, the Greenway Arts Festival really does have a little something for everyone. The 17th annual Greenway Arts Fest at Old Fort Park draws thousands of art lovers from all around the area. Over 70 vendors lined the Greenway with everything from acrylic and oil paintings, jewelry, pottery, and of course, no festival is complete without something to eat. Local artist Carol Burning has been a part of the festival since the beginning and tells us this is one of her favorite events to attend.
There are fabulous people who come out and walk the Greenway with their families and their dogs, and sometimes they buy art, which is wonderful, which is why I'm here. But it's just a fun, easy show to do and lots of wonderful people.
The festival showcases art in many forms, including music from several local acts like the MTSU Flute Choir, spoken word, and poetry. The Greenway Arts Festival is a collaborative effort with Murfreesboro Parks and Rec and the Friends of the Greenway organization. Reporting for CityTV, Michael Linn White. Professionals representing different career paths lead students through demonstrations and hands-on activities dealing with water. The 4th annual Stones River Waterfest is held at Old Fort Park. This event is about everything water with 49 booths, including water quality, critters in the water, stormwater runoff, pollution, recycling, and much more. There are facilitators from federal, state, and local governments, nonprofits, businesses, and master gardeners, also 60 school classes of 3rd to 6th graders.
So the first year we actually started it in Smyrna at one of their city parks, and just right from the beginning it was a huge success, and so the next year we moved it here just for a little bit more space for parking and whatnot. So it's been held here for the last 3 years. Honestly, this is one of my favorite events that I work on all year, and it's just because the collaboration and the partnership that goes on. We plan for this all year round, and it's just amazing how it all comes together. All these professional presenters are here sharing their knowledge with the kids on, water quality, water conservation, water safety. It's just a really neat collaboration. There's so much that you can teach about water, and obviously water is so important to every living thing, including us, and so the more that we can get that message out and the younger we can get it out, they're going to be our conservation stewards.
One of the booths teaches about stormwater runoff and how trash, debris, and sediment get washed into our streams and rivers.
All right, we're going to make it rain on our watershed, and we're going to see what happens. Do you see all the pollutants going down into the streets? And then it goes into the rivers and the ditches, and ultimately ends up where?
It goes into the ocean.
In the lakes and the ocean. You're exactly right.
It's all hands-on stations, anything from live animals to they're playing games, from being a water molecule to a part of a food chain to just so much that you can do, and they can do that hands-on stuff and the interactive.
A new addition to the event is where kids get wet, and no one is more well-equipped to do that than the Murfreesboro Fire and Rescue Department.
So we've got county schools and city schools and private schools. We have a waiting list, so we hope in the years to come that we can accommodate any kid that wants to come here. So we don't have a schedule of events, and we call it Wander at Will. And so they stay with their teachers, head to an open station. The presenters, are asked to speak for about 15 or 20 minutes, but if they're super engaged, they're going to take that opportunity to go on and, make sure that the kids understand what's going on. But then they just finish up and they move to the next station.
When Cason Lane Academy opened its doors 25 years ago, it was on the forefront of education in Middle Tennessee. Now they're celebrating continuing that vision for years to come. When Cason Lane Academy opened its doors 25 years ago, the school was a trailblazer for academics in Murfreesboro.
It's a special place where collaboration of parents and teachers and students and the community has come together to change the trajectory of people's lives.
Today, the school is still thriving, and what better way to celebrate a quarter of a century of excellence than with fanfare? Cason Lane students and teachers beam with excitement and pride for their school. The Rockville High Band even stopping by for a performance kicking off a day of celebration. A reception in the library honored those who've been there from the start. Murfreesboro resident Mike Tanzel recalls how much this school has meant not just to him and his family, but the entire community.
Been here a long time. It's great, brings back great memories for this wonderful school. Got a great staff, had great principals, assistant principals, great teachers, which we still have today.
Greg Lyles, Cason Lane's first principal, says he's proud the school is still carrying out the cutting-edge vision it started with.
It's encouraging to see that the vision of city schools is still being carried forth by the younger generation. The fact that we still have children as the forefront of our focus, that's what it should be.
As some things change through the years, one thing remains constant at Cason Lane and throughout Murfreesboro City schools: the importance of children and education.
Public education has a vital part in the life of our community, and if we commit ourselves to that and not focus on our differences, great things can happen, not only in the lives of children, but in the lives of our community.
Cason Lane Academy has grown to over 700 students, kindergarten through 6th grade. Reporting for CityTV, Michael Linn White. Because women are a minority in the military, the VA hospital has specific programs to meet their needs.
At the VA Medical Center on Lebanon Pike here in Murfreesboro, there is a Women Veterans Program. This program is set up to ensure that female veterans get equal care for their gender-specific needs. We sat down with the program manager to learn more about this program.
So the VA is a department within the government, but within the VA there's 3 organizations. There's the Veterans Health Administration, which is us, which is your doctor's offices, your clinics, your hospitals, emergency rooms. So we focus on your health care. The second part is the Veterans Benefits Administration. So any mental, physical issues that you can relate to your service time, you can apply for service connection disability, which is financial compensation. And the third part of the VA is cemetery and burial services, similar to Arlington Cemetery. And I work for the Veterans Health Administration. So I'm here as the Women Veterans Program Manager to let women know that served in the military, you're called a veteran, you're eligible for care. Women traditionally don't identify as being veterans because they think the word veteran is for men, or they think it's for combat veterans only. But anyone that served in the military and has since left is now a veteran. Anyone that enrolls in the VA that's a woman is going to get a welcome letter from me. Because often what happens is someone will enroll for health care, so they'll fill out the application to get health care with us, but then they think they're done and they don't do the next step, which the next step is getting primary care services.
The VA is a one-stop shop for all the medical needs of veterans.
One-stop shopping for health, mental health, surgery, any primary care services. They'll do a full gamut background on you and then refer you to any specialty that you may need, whether that's mental health, podiatry, orthopedic, surgery. We do all the preventative screenings as well. Flu shots, will cover everything.
When a veteran leaves the military, they lose their point of contact and they enter a transition to civilian life. The VA is there to help in that transition.
This transitional care management program is the welcome center to help them figure that out, and the VA is here as a foundational support for them, not only with their health issues, but housing, the finances through the benefits administration. Like, there's lots of services at the VA, so I want to make sure everybody is aware of what we can help them with.
They want to make sure the older generation of veterans is not forgotten with various programs.
We have in-home services for if they need help with cooking, cleaning, bathing, physical therapy. As someone's health declines, we have supportive services. We have long-term care or nursing home care available, medical foster home care available. So regardless of your age, we can provide care for you.
October is a big awareness month in women's health, and Carolyn wanted to specifically invite women veterans to be aware of preventative health care.
October is considered Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So you'll see pink everywhere, right? Everybody will wear pink in support. And the idea is to bring awareness that women over 40 can get screened for mammograms. And we have those services here at Murfreesboro, at Nashville, or if you live far away, we'll get you the care in the community and VA will foot the bill. And if something happens and you end up having an abnormal mammogram, an abnormal screening, we'll provide all of your care. We're one-stop shopping for women's health and their breast health.
Former United States Vice President Al Gore visits MTSU for a panel discussion on his father's political legacy here in Middle Tennessee. MTSU welcomed former United States Vice President Al Gore Jr. to campus on Monday. Gore's visit included a panel discussion in front of a packed house at Tucker Theater. There he discussed his father's, Al Gore Sr., political impact and legacy.
So it is fitting today that we gather here under the banner of the Albert Gore Research Center to talk about Albert Gore Sr.
Gore joined the faculty at MTSU in 2001, and his late father, an MTSU alumnus, is the namesake for the Albert Gore Sr. Research Center on campus. A new biography about Gore Sr., written by Dr. Anthony J. Badger, was also a part of the discussion led by Professor Kent Seiler. Gore's visit also included a stop at the Walker Library to visit the new exhibit honoring Gore Sr. The exhibit is still on display through October. Reporting for CityTV, Michael Linn White. The Murfreesboro Parks and Recreation are encouraging residents to use refillable bottles when drinking water at their venues.
Has it become second nature to grab a water bottle when you're walking out the door? Well, our second nature is ruining our only nature. Murfreesboro Parks and Recreation is challenging you to BYOB, as in bring your own water bottle. You can refill your water bottle at many of our facilities with filtered water, and you don't even have to press a button. Not only will you be keeping plastic out of our landfills, you'll also be saving some change by not buying disposables. Remember, refill, not landfill, and BYOB.
Local chefs pair with a local celebrity to raise thousands of dollars for charity at this annual event that gets bigger, better, and tastier every year. What started out with 30 people at a local restaurant has now grown to over 200. The annual Charity Chopped in the Boro event brings the community together for a great cause.
We are cooking for charities tonight. In the hot sun, the hot ovens, the hot grease back here, it's going to be a great evening.
Based on the popular TV show Chopped, a local chef is paired with a local celebrity. They are given certain ingredients to work with. Then a panel of judges decides on the winning dish.
Hot plate, hot plate.
Proceeds from the evening will go to Second Harvest Food Bank, Amelia's Closet, and Habitat for Humanity.
I think that supporting food, clothing, and shelter, the three basic needs, help give people the best opportunity to live their best life.
Event director Shannon Wheeler says he wanted a way to help those in need, but wondered if he was the right person to do so.
I thought for a long time, I'm not wealthy. Am I the right guy to really have a fundraiser like this? And then the more I thought about it, the more I realized I'm exactly the right guy. And that's why I do it.
This year's winning team, Mitchell Murphy and Fant Smith for Amelia's Closet. With thousands of dollars raised for charity, organizers say as the event continues to grow, so does the number of people helped. Reporting for CityTV, Michael Linn White. The outdoor pool at Sportscom turned into a K9's paradise with the 2019 Puppy Plunge.
Another great pool season has come and gone for the Boro Beach at Sportscom. The last event before it's closed for the season is the Puppy Plunge, a day for responsible dog owners to give man's best friend a special play day with their friends.
I tell you, we've done it about this, I think I'd say, our 8th year, and of course it's been so hot lately. We were expecting a huge turnout, a capacity crowd of dogs here today, I think. So had a good turnout so far. Hopefully we'll have some more come in. inside the pool area. They're available to go. We've got a couple of locks up at the front, door locks, where we can get them in and out. Try not to let the dogs get out in the parking lot for sure. So once we get them in here, they're free to roam around, and we do ask like a $1 donation at the gate to come in, and we'll be donating that to Paws.
Paws is the local shelter for Rutherford County. They set up for adoptions. They take in strays, owner surrenders, cats and dogs. Their main concern is to adopt dogs out and find them homes, find dogs, cats, homes, because that's the overall goal. Let's get them in a forever home with a loving family so they don't have to continue to live in a shelter on the streets, abusive homes, wherever they may have come from.
I've been here, I guess this is my third time. I was a lifeguard here in college, and my college roommate adopted a dog from Paws when we were here a couple years ago. Now I have a dog of my own, so we come out and support and come out and let her have fun. Exercise, run around. She loves the water, so she's swimming, and just be around other dogs. So it's nice for the dogs to get out and enjoy it.
I have a golden retriever that loves water. Literally, when I bring him anywhere near water, he either drags me or I go in with him. And this is like his favorite day of the year. So I make sure to always try to come out and bring him out so he can play with other dogs and swim. They're there for you when it seems like no one else is. And I love my dogs. I've had some great times and memories. And you only get so many years with them, so it's just a cool experience overall.
To see this many dogs together and responsible owners with dogs who are dog friendly, and they're all having such a good time. To see a happy dog, you can't do anything but be happy.
Routinely, the state of Tennessee inspects the Walter Hill Dam for leaks. Recently, they reported minor leaks were found, so the city of Murfreesboro hired a contractor to repair them.
Minor repairs to the Walter Hill Dam were recently performed. The state of Tennessee, as well as Water Resources Department employees, routinely inspect the dam for possible needed repairs. The dam was taken over by the city in 1941 and is the major source of drinking water for Murfreesboro.
The dam was originally built in 1912, so it's already 107 years old. And over the years, we've done maintenance to it. Right now, what we're trying to do is renovate the dam to keep it in good shape so that we can continue to use it, because this dam actually backs up the water so that we can use the pump station at the water treatment plant. Yeah, we had several leaks that was identified the last time the state inspected the dam, small leaks, and then of course along the cap of the dam there was some damage that was done a few years ago. A tree hit it, and so we're trying to make repairs to that. The other thing that they've done is create a bypass with piping over here that you can see, and that will actually move the water over the dam to lower the level behind the dam so that they can get behind it and work. And of course then they have divers that are doing the work below the water level. Well, it's somewhat rare. The last time we did a major renovation like this was in 2007, but we did a very similar situation then. We didn't have to use divers. We were able to have it pulled down, but unfortunately this time the porter dams did not work properly, and therefore they had to convert over to divers. I'm responsible for the dam at the water treatment plant as the manager, and so we coordinate with the state. They will call us and tell us when they want to meet. We meet out here with them and go through everything, take notes, and then they'll send us a letter, and then of course we'll have phone conversations and stuff like that. But yes, it does come through me. The wall you see behind us here had fallen over years and years, and so one of the requirements that we had from for the contractor was that we rebuild this wall, because it helped prevent the water from bypassing part of the dam on the south side here. So that wall was rebuilt in this project. I think they did a real good job trying to keep the original intent of how the wall was built, and so that now provides all the water to the north side of that wall, so it actually has to spill over the dam. The area that we're standing in right here is an area where people can come out. People come up here and fish and sit out and picnic.
The third installment of What Watershed Do You Live In series is completed. This one highlights Bushman Creek that runs by Las Casas Highway and near Oakland High School.
What watershed do you live in? Pristine Bushman Creek emerges from the ground as a large spring near the Garrison Cove neighborhood before flowing under Las Casas Pike. The crystal clear stream, also known as Bushnell Creek, then flows under DeJarnett Lane and northward along the neighborhoods of Huntington Place, Celebration Cove, and Pebble Creek before flowing under Osborne Lane and lastly Compton Road. Bushman Creek eventually drains into East Fork of Stones River nearly 4.5 miles after springing up out of the ground. By the time Bushman Creek reaches the surface, it has traveled more than half its length underground. A vast subterranean basin receives rain from sinkholes and sinking streams in the hills east of Murfreesboro and as far away as the Dilton community. Once on the surface, though, the drainage area to Bushman Creek becomes fairly narrow, but the stream still receives some runoff. Because of these watershed dynamics and geology, much of Bushman Creek is wide and has consistent flow year-round. An abundance of groundwater creates a majestic ecosystem throughout the stream's course. Water zigzags through joints in the limestone and weaves around gravel islands and point bars where grasses and cardinal flowers host butterflies. In some parts of Bushman Creek, a moss-covered stone wall lines the water's edge alongside pebble shoals. Bushman Creek is one of Murfreesboro's most hidden streams, being surrounded almost entirely by residential neighborhoods and some farmland, with a few glimpses of the stream available from the bridges it crosses under. Less commercial area typically means less impervious surfaces like roads, sidewalks, and rooftops, and more vegetation to soak up rain that would have taken pollution to the stream. Residents living along Bushman Creek can help protect their stream by establishing vegetative buffers and trees and shrubs, or simply allowing the land bordering the creek to grow up. Some neighborhoods along Bushman Creek even have water quality protection areas, which are zones of the land along the creek set aside to protect this streamside vegetation. Water quality protection areas not only protect the stream, but protect streamside property by holding it in place with complex root systems. Since the upper half of Bushman Creek flows underground, many of its tributaries also flow into Bushman Creek underground. A few tributaries can be seen like Garrison Creek and Double Spring Branch. In addition to the neighborhoods that drain into Bushman Creek, Oakland High School, Oakland Middle School, and John Pittard Elementary School also drain to Bushman Creek. Rain falling on the parking lots at these schools will also drain into Bushman Creek. Bushman Creek is a hardy stream and a valuable resource to the residents of Murfreesboro and of the watershed. What watershed do you live in?
It took a few years, but the Middle Tennessee Boulevard improvement near MTSU has been completed, and MTSU hosted a ceremony for the occasion.
For those of us who have been involved in this project for a decade plus, this has been a day that we have long waited for, and quite frankly, at times we weren't 100% sure that this was even going to happen in our lifetime. But thanks to the commitment and determination of our local, state, and federal elected officials, as well as our community, we now have a beautiful front door for our campus and for the Murfreesboro historic downtown area.
As Dr. McPhee pointed out, it hasn't been without challenges, but after waiting patiently, we now have better traffic flow, a new pull-in area in front of Murphy Center, better safety with signalized crossings. We continually are working on making sure that Murfreesboro is pedestrian friendly, and I think this is one of the things that we're most proud of. And most importantly, I think when you ask Dr. McPhee, fantastic new signage to the university. I think that's something that is beneficial. Finally, we shouldn't neglect to remind ourselves that projects like this take money and partnership. We've had more than $18 million in road improvements in what you see here. $12 million from the federal government. Senator Alexander, thank you so much for your work, and Congressman Gordon. We've had $5 million invested from MTSU, and we've had lots of state partnership. To our state partners, we say thank you. All of that, I go to tell you that the partnerships that we have between elected officials, MTSU, our state, and our federal government could never be stronger.
Shane, congratulations to you, because I know that MTSU and Murfreesboro are just all tied up together. One success is the other success, and this has becoming one of the most rapidly growing cities in the country, and this university is doing the same. Philip White is a professor of landscape and architecture at the University of Washington State, and this is what he has to say. His research shows that most students choose college not based upon education, but based on the campus appearance. He said most students decide, who are visiting a college, choosing a college, will decide in the first 10 minutes whether it's going to stay on their college list, mostly based on the appearance. About 62% of college students, according to admissions officers, base their decision on the appearance of the landscape and the building. Students and their parents pay attention to how things look.
When you do a project like this, it's really, as we were talking about with JB yesterday, it's something you do every 40 or 50 years. And so you really have an option. You can halfway do it and sort of live with it, or you can create a partnership and do it right. And I think what this boulevard is going to do is it's going to set a benchmark for additional type of public-private partnerships. And I know Steve is going to be on top of that. And you're going to see a little university village, I think, here in the few years, and it's really going to be a great place for everyone.
During the past few years of construction, Liz and I have enjoyed sitting in the sunroom of the president's residence, listening to the banging, the noise, the dusk, and watching this remarkable transformation take place. And once what was somewhat of a dark and uninspired stretch of highway, one that could have been found almost anywhere in the country, is now a beautiful thoroughfare. One, I might add, that's equal to any university in the community. The new gateway to this great institution.
3, 2, 1, cut!
At a city council meeting, John Verge, a lifelong resident of Rutherford County, received the key to the city from Mayor Shane McFarland. Verge, for over 3 decades, has volunteered at the Boys and Girls Club and the Salvation Army.
But we want to give you the key to the city.
Also, during that same city council meeting, Parks and Recreation employee Michael Philpott was awarded the STARS Award for saving the life of a patron at the McFadden Community Center.
While participating in a pickleball program at McFadden Community Center, a patron began to have a cardiac emergency. Mike immediately grabbed the AED and went to aid the patron after ensuring that EMS had been summoned. Mike applied the AED pads and administered a shock and also performed CPR with the help of others until EMS arrived to take the patron to the hospital. Due to Mike's decisive actions, the patron has made a full recovery.
Our team here at CityTV is honored nationally, taking home a total of 7 National Association of Telecommunications Officers and Advisors, or NATOA awards. Recognition like this continues to put a national spotlight on Murfreesboro and all of the great things happening in our city. Well, that's it for this edition of In the City. As always, for more information about the city of Murfreesboro or any of the stories you've seen here, you can always visit our website at www.murfreesborotn.gov. And if you want to see one of the stories that you've seen today or catch up on some of the latest city news, you can always visit the City of Murfreesboro's YouTube channel. Before we leave, we'd like to share some of the activities that went on at this year's Boro Adventure Fest held at Walter Hill Park. This event was put together for people that love the outdoors. I'm Michael Linn White, and until next time, we look forward to seeing you in the city.